You know what really shocked me that day at Oak Ridge? Jasmine began, her voice low but steady. Whitney Caldwell, the queen bee with her designer shoes and perfect blonde hair. She just walked up and said, I didn't know they let ghetto trash into Oak Ridge now. Can you believe that? Right there, smack in the middle of the grand cafeteria, with everyone watching. That tray crashing to the floor wasn't just a sound. It was the silence before the storm. The 50 privileged kids in their pristine uniforms circled around Jasmine, like vultures, watching Whitney pour spaghetti sauce all over her scholarship papers. Phones lifted, ready to capture the moment, as if it was some reality show. Whitney's nails flicked more sauce like she was conducting some cruel orchestra. What's wrong? Can't speak English properly? Or did they just let you in 'cause you're good at sports? Hands shaking but holding onto that worn backpack where her third-degree black belt was hidden, a promise that this fight wasn't over. Her sensei's voice echoed in her head. True power lies in knowing when not to strike. Whitney leaned in close, whispering venom. People like you don't belong here. Go crawl back to your government housing project. And just for a split second, something fierce flickered in Jasmine's eyes, a flash so sharp, even Whitney took a step back without realizing it. She counted the days, 312 to the scholarship review. Just keep it. That's all she had. Jasmine wiped the sauce off her uniform, stood tall, and walked away, every step leaving a trail of humiliation on the polished floor. But behind her, the outline of her black belt pressed against her back, a silent declaration. Back at her cramped apartment in South Side, the smell of lemon cleaner and herbal tea greeted her. Grandma Ruth was home. Their tiny two-bedroom was a world away from Oak Ridge's manicured lawns. The living room doubled as Jasmine's bedroom, the pull-out couch barely giving her space to stretch after school. Is that you, baby? Grandma's tired voice came from the kitchen, her nurse shoes squeaking against the linoleum. Jasmine dropped her backpack without a word about the day's chaos. Grandma worked double shifts to cover what the scholarship didn't, and she didn't need more worries. How was school? Grandma asked, eyes sharp despite exhaustion. Jasmine forced a smile. Fine, just tired. Pride flickered in Grandma's eyes. Your daddy would be proud. After Grandma left, Jasmine rolled out her father's old mat, the gift for her 10th birthday. Her fingers traced the familiar texture as she breathed deeply, turning the day's pain into fuel. She moved through forms with a grace that could silence a room, each kick and strike telling a story of years of discipline, loss, and hope. Her father's voice whispered from memory. Channel it. Jasmine turned pain into power. After his sudden death, Jasmine's flying kick felt like flying free, suspended in a moment of pure control, a rebellion against everything trying to hold her down. Her sensei, Master Park. Her phone buzzed. A social media post from Whitney, captioned charity case having a bad day, mocking her ruin. Comments piled up like daggers. Jasmine threw the phone aside and poured that rage into practice, shaking the building with every strike. The next morning, an email. Your daddy would be so proud. But they had no money. At Oak Ridge, Whitney and her crew were orchestrating a campaign of isolation. In the library, Jasmine was flat out rejected from a study group. Trevor, Whitney's boyfriend, claimed the group was full despite empty chairs. Whitney mocked her openly. The charity showcase prize is $2. $500, more than enough for your championship. You don't think you have a shot, do you? Jasmine's mind raced. That prize was her lifeline. After school, she reported the harassment to the guidance counselor, Ms. Bennett. The smile she got back was polite but empty. Oak Ridge has a culture. You should try harder to fit in. We took a chance on you. No help there. In chemistry lab, Whitney accidentally spilled chemicals on Jasmine's work, and the teacher dismissed her protests, warning some students should be grateful for the opportunities given. Whitney's smirk said it all. Rules didn't apply to her. At the community center, practicing basketball drills with machine-like precision, Ms. Powell knew about her taekwondo, even her black belt, and challenged Jasmine. Why let Whitney walk all over you? Hiding in the nearly empty school, Jasmine overheard Whitney panic to her second-in-command Allison. Whitney was terrified she'd be exposed for copying a viral dance. Jasmine held the secret power now. At home, the burden of bills and Grandma's pneumonia weighed heavy. The scholarship review was set for the day after the showcase, a ticking time bomb. They talked it through, and Grandma reminded her, Your daddy never backed down from a challenge, and neither should you. Showtime. Oak Ridge's Performing Arts Center glittered with privilege. Jasmine, dressed in her taekwondo uniform, entered backstage, clutching her father's gold chain around her wrist, a talisman. Whitney's sneer faded to confusion when she saw Jasmine was Jay Taylor, the mysterious martial arts act. Whitney scoffed, but Jasmine just nodded. It's taekwondo. Let's see what the judges think. The showcase started with polished, expensive performances, violin solos, ballet, operatic vocals, all well-rehearsed but lacking fire. Whitney's dance was flawless but felt copied, robotic. Then it was Jasmine's turn, stripped of her usual arrogance. For the finale, 3 basketball players held their arms out, forming a human wall. Jasmine sprinted and launched a perfect flying kick over them, landing silently as the auditorium gasped. Then, with a deep bow, she kissed her father's chain and raised it high. The applause exploded, first one, then a sea of standing ovations drowning out Whitney's father's protest. Students recording, cheering, some in disbelief. Backstage, Whitney confronted her, furious and desperate, accusing Jasmine of scheming. Jasmine calmly reminded her, I performed my best, like you did. Maybe you should have practiced an original routine. Whitney shoved her, threatening to call her father and revoke her scholarship. Jasmine sidestepped effortlessly, warning, don't touch me again. Phones recorded everything. The video went viral across school social media. Whitney's threats and Jasmine's calm defense sparked fierce debate. At home, Grandma Ruth cried tears of pride as Jasmine held the trophy and check. The $2,500 prize was life-changing, covering the championship fee and medical bills. But the next day's scholarship review still loomed. Jasmine wasn't sure what would happen, but something inside her had changed. At the meeting, the headmaster acknowledged her academic excellence and said the showcase performance and viral videos raised questions about the harassment she endured. Your scholarship will continue, he said. We are reviewing our harassment policies, and changes will be made. Outside, students, even Trevor, Whitney's boyfriend, offered congratulations and asked to learn taekwondo from Jasmine. A new martial arts club was approved, with Ms. Powell as sponsor and Jasmine as leader. Whitney returned to school subdued, the social order shaken. Weeks later, she apologized. My parents want me to, she said stiffly. Jasmine offered a quiet thought. Maybe it's not about failing or succeeding. Maybe it's about being real. Summer came. Jasmine didn't win the national championship, but placed third, earning another scholarship. More importantly, she was no longer invisible. The club grew, policies changed, and Jasmine created a small fund to help kids who couldn't afford lessons. One crisp October evening, standing in Master Park's dojang with young students, Jasmine said, Taekwondo isn't just fighting. It's knowing your strength, even when others don't see it yet. Outside, leaves danced gold and crimson, swirling in the wind like the story of a girl who refused to be defined by anyone but herself. So what do you think? Was justice served? Did Jasmine's courage rewrite the system? Or just shake it for a moment? If this story touched you, share your thoughts, because sometimes change starts with the courage to show who you really are. Hit like, subscribe, and share to join a community that turns silence into action and stories into movements. Because silence protects systems, but courage rewrites them.